Aizen Sasuke vs Yhwach. There is no doubt, guys, that this battle is one of the most famous fights in the Quincy arc. The fact that it's the final battle of the arc alone makes it significant, as we got to witness some of Aizen's incredible power after his release from the Mugen. We also saw how by teaming up with Ichigo, he played a major role in the final outcome of the fight, Yhwach's defeat. However, guys, this battle raised several questions and left some points unclear. In this context, a particular question about Aizen Sasuke was brought up to Kubo, specifically regarding the wounds he sustained during his fight against Yhwach. So, let's take a look at the question, guys, and Kubo's answer, and after that we'll analyze his answer and discuss the battle in detail. So this fan said that Aizen suffered multiple injuries during his battle against Yhwach. Was he treated before being imprisoned again? Kubo's answer was that Sasuke Aizen wounds healed automatically. And this is an important answer, guys. It confirms that Aizen still retains most of the Hokage abilities from his previous transformations, including the ability to heal his wounds no matter the type, whether it's a normal injury like the direct attack he took from Ichigo's Tensho, or being eroded by Gin's Bankai. So the Hokage always ensured Aizen recovered from such wounds. And this is, guys, what makes Aizen's immortality truly remarkable. In my opinion, it's the strongest form of immortality we have seen so far. After all, someone could be immortal but lack the ability to regenerate his body. A good example outside Bleach would be Hidan from Naruto. He's immortal but he can't regenerate lost body parts. And beside that, guys, Kubo's answer directly addresses the doubts some fans had, as many believed Aizen had lost his regenerative abilities. It also confirms the terrifying power Aizen now possesses, which can be summarized in 4 key points. First of all, his fusion with Kyuuka's Suigetsu. Second, his great Ryatsu. And thirdly, his ability to regenerate from any wound. And finally, his immortality. And I will explain this in detail, guys, especially how these 4 factors combined and allowed Aizen to trap Yhwach in his illusion. First, guys, we need to acknowledge that even while imprisoned in Mugen, Aizen was clearly able to influence others using Kyuuka's Suigetsu. Despite being sealed, it is highly likely that the time he spent in Mugen allowed him to strengthen his connection with both the Hokage and his Zanpakuto, Kyuuka's Suigetsu. As a result, he reached a level he could activate his illusion ability using just his Ryatsu without even drawing his Zanpakuto. And this is due to the uniqueness of Aizen's Zanpakuto. If we go back to before he fused with the Hokage, all he needed to do was draw his sword, which remained in its sealed form, so to speak, and activate his Shikai with the command Shatter Kyuuka's Suigetsu. So Aizen's immense Ryatsu allowed his Zanpakuto's ability to cover a wide range. And unlike most Zanpakutos, Kyuuka's Suigetsu's ability does not have a tangible form, which makes its illusion power incredibly deadly. Before merging with the Hokage, Aizen had to unsheath his Zanpakuto to activate its ability. But with the Hokage, guys, he reached a terrifying new level of control. Aizen no longer needs his sword to activate the illusion. All he needs is for his opponent to be near him. That's exactly what he did in his first encounter with Yhwach. He manipulated Yhwach's perception of time by altering his senses. Of course, during that period, some people were saying that Aizen's influence on Yhwach was due to the fact that the latter hadn't yet fully activated his power. However, it turned out that this was not the case at all. Aizen's Ryatsu has actually reached a level close to Yhwach's. And this was confirmed in Kubo's new addition, where Aizen was able to sense Yhwach's Ryatsu after he absorbed Ryu. And this gives us, guys, a clear understanding of just how far Aizen had reached at that moment. I can say that Yhwach's mistake was that he believed Sasuke Aizen would never ally himself with the Shinigami against him, and this was one of Yhwach's miscalculations, and he actually paid the price for it at the beginning of the final battle. Because all we know, guys, Aizen was left alone in the Soul Society, alongside with Kira and Iba-sama, while most of the Guilty 13 members were in the Royal Palace, having already finished their battles, and even the battle between Yhwach and Ichigo had ended. Of course, with Ichigo's defeat, and his Bankai was shattered and his powers absorbed. Lucky for Ichigo, Tsukishima restored his Bankai and decided to join Renji to fight Yhwach again. However guys, by that time, Yhwach had already reached the Soul Society before them, and that's where the major confrontation took place between Aizen and Yhwach. And in fact, when Aizen greeted Yhwach with "Welcome to my Soul Society," he was also saying "Welcome to my trap." Aizen had already prepared the scene, the battlefield with his Ryatsu, infused with Kyoka's Wigitsu, and this became even more effective after Yhwach broke the chair that had been restraining Aizen's Ryatsu, allowing Aizen to strengthen the influence of Kyoka's Wigitsu, and Aizen was confident that his Shika, reinforced by his monstrous Ryatsu, would affect Yhwach. Meanwhile, Yhwach's almighty guys made him let his guard down, preventing him from even considering the possibility that Kyoka's Wigitsu could manipulate the future he was seeing. And the moment Ichigo and the Renji arrived, Yhwach was already perceiving an alternate reality. And one of the key signs that Yhwach overlooked was the way Ichigo's Bankai shattered. It was supposed to break the same way it did in the first time. And Yhwach failed to realize that the simple reason for this inconsistency was that the person standing before him was not Ichigo, but Aizen Sasuke. Aizen was the one who made the Bankai appears broken in that particular way, but Yhwach saw it like a coincidence. That throughout the battle, Aizen continuously altered his appearance in Yhwach's perception. First, he made Yhwach believe that Ichigo was the one standing before him with a broken Bankai. Then he appeared as Renji with his Bankai activated. Yhwach attacked and severed one of Renji's arms, but in reality that was just under illusion. In fact, Aizen's arm was severed, and at that moment Aizen once again shifted appearances, but this time he appeared as his own unharmed self, revealing his Zanpakuto and unleashing Hado 99. It remains unclear whether the Hado 99 was real or just an illusion, but given the destruction it caused, it's likely that it was indeed real. However guys, what is certain is that Aizen's strategy was aimed at distracting Yhwach and keeping him unaware of being trapped in illusion, which will allow Ichigo to find the perfect opportunity to land the final blow, and that's exactly what happened. And after Aizen launched the Hado 99, he attacked Yhwach, and at this time guys, Aizen's illusion began to distort. He was able to appear as Ichigo, but he could no longer conceal his severed arm or the remnants of Renji's Bankai from his first illusion. Despite this, Yhwach still failed to realize the standing before him was actually Aizen and not Ichigo. And then Aizen finally spoke, revealing the truth to Yhwach. At that moment, his true form was exposed, an injured Aizen with a severed arm and a direct wound to his chest. Meanwhile, the real Ichigo was behind Yhwach, where he launched the final Getsuga Tensho, and I mean here the last final Getsuga Tensho that ultimately killed Yhwach. And this shows guys how Aizen's Ryatsu was powerful enough to keep Yhwach trapped in his illusion and manipulate him for a significant time. And Aizen was able to do multiple attacks because he knew in advance that even if he suffered severe injuries, he could heal himself automatically, a fact that Kubo confirmed. In other words guys, even after Yhwach struck Aizen and Ichigo and the battle ended with Yhwach's defeat following Uryu's intervention, it seems that Aizen was able to regenerate his severed arm and heal his other wounds after the end of the battle. In the end guys, as I always say, Kubo needs to provide more additions regarding these points and other details about Aizen to clarify the full picture. So guys, what do you think about Kubo's answer? What I have said, tell me guys your opinions in the comments, and see you guys in my next video.